When I have friends over for dinner, I like to do as many things as I can ahead of time, which brings me to the topic of a delicious dessert. That's why I love to serve creme brulee. Who doesn't love a delicious creme brulee? I love them for two reasons. Number one, you can prepare them the day before and finish them off just before you serve them. The second reason I love creme brulee is that, well, it's delicious, but you can make it adaptable to the season. This recipe is for pumpkin creme brulee. It's perfect because you can use pumpkin fresh from the garden. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 325. The next thing, it's all about the eggs. You want to separate the yolks from the whites of 4 eggs. And I just dump all of the egg yolks over into a large bowl, because in that large bowl, you're going to take a half a cup of brown sugar and you're going to whisk all of this together. Then add about a half a teaspoon of ground allspice, a quarter teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a quarter of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Here's where you're going to get the aroma hit. It's marvelous the way this smells. It really does smell like fall. Add a pinch of salt and then a half a cup of granulated sugar. Then 1 cup of heavy cream. And then the real kicker, the seasonal ingredient. In this case, as I've mentioned, it's pumpkin. And so what you want to do is you want to use 1 cup of pureed pumpkin. Now you can use it from a can, but you get extra points if you use a fresh pumpkin, and you get double extra points if you grew that pumpkin. Now if you decide to grow some of your own pumpkins this year, a couple of things you want to keep in mind. First, kids love to grow their own pumpkins, so keep that in mind. Secondly, they cover a lot of space. Big vines with big leaves produce lots of pumpkins, so you want to make sure you've got plenty of room. At the very least, plant them around the edge of your garden so they don't beat up all your other vegetables. Now, once you've mixed all of this together and you have a liquid creme brulee, it's time to divide the mixture into ramekins. This recipe will produce enough to fill about 6 to 8 ramekins. Now, it depends on the size ramekin. With mine, this recipe will only fill about 6 of them. And you want to take the creme brulee and fill it up to about a ½ inch space from the top. Next, just place them in a baking dish and fill it about halfway up the sides of the ramekins with hot water. Then you're going to bake this for about 30 to 35 minutes to set the mixture. Then remove the ramekins from the oven until they come to room temperature, and then place them in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 hours. You want them to cool completely. Now when you're ready to serve them, just remove them from the refrigerator and sprinkle about a tablespoon of sugar on each creme brulee. Then use a chef's torch to melt the sugar until they're crisp and dark brown. It is so easy and so delicious. Give it a try.